Hi and welcome back to Crochet Infusion, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Today I want to show you how to make this lovely cute little Easter bunny hair clip. I've just made the bunny and attached it to this hair clip, and that is it. So I hope you're going to enjoy this tutorial. So I'm going to be showing you how I made my little bunny. So to begin, you're going to be needing your yarn. I'm using DK yarn, any yarn is fine. I've got grey, pink and black. I've also decided to use a little bit of material. I've just cut a small piece because don't need much for the inside of the ears, and some ribbon for the bow on the side of her head, around her ear, and that's it really. Scissors, tapestry needle, a hair clip, and some textile glue, which I picked up for about £1, I think. Just ordinary textile material glue. So that's all we need for today. So to begin, we're going to start by making a magic circle. If you don't know how to do the magic ring, magic circle, magic ring, whichever way you want to say that, I say magic ring usually. So to begin, you're going to place your yarn over your fingers, and you're just going to pull it round so it's like that, like a cross, and you're just going to bring your yarn up and then take your fingers out and just tie at the top with a one single crochet, and then you're going to do 6 single crochets into the ring. So I'll just have to do that one again. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So that's all 6 in there, and then you just want to pull this closed, but without obviously twisting it if you can help it. So just pull that through, and you're just going to now make a slip stitch using the first chain. So pull that right through both, just pull that centre so it's tight, and then chain 1. And then for the first round of this, I'm going to do 2 single crochets in each stitch around. So you want to start by going into your first chain and do 2 in each stitch. So that's 2 single crochets into the next stitch, another 2 single crochets into the next stitch, another 2 single crochets, and when you get to the end of all your 2 single crochets, you just want to count and check that you've got 12 single crochets all the way around. And my next one, and then you're just going to want to slip stitch and then chain 1. So that is 12 stitches in a round. And now we're going to go on to the next round. The next round we're going to do a round of just single crochets on the next round, which you should have 12. And you want to do that for 2 rounds. So you do 1 round of 12, slip stitch together, chain 1, and then another round of single crochets in each stitch around. And then I will meet you back up once we have done 2 rounds of the single crochet going in around. Okay, so I'm just now going to do a slip stitch to join that round together, and then chain 1. Now what I like to do now is just turn this the other way around, like so. I just think it's easier. So now we are halfway there, so this bit of tail can just sit inside, because we'll be stuffing this in a bit anyway. So for the next round we're going to start by doing a decrease. So insert your hook, go into the following stitch, insert your hook and pick your yarn through, so you've got 3 loops on your hook, and you're just going to go through all 3 of those loops, and that's 1, and then we're just going to do that again, so into the next and into the next, 3 loops on your hook, pull through all 3, and then we're going to do 1 single, and then we're going to do another decrease, so that's another decrease, and then we're going to do another decrease, and as you can see this is getting quite small now, so this is a good opportunity if you want to stuff, then I suggest this would be the time to do so. So I'm just going to get a little bit of yarn. You can use anything for stuffing. If you've actually got any stuffing, then that's, you know, good. But I'm just going to use a bit of scrap yarn to stuff mine with. You don't want to be over stuffing it really either. So I think that's going to be enough. I'm just going to cut if I can. It keeps getting caught. There we go. Okay, so that's all stuffed. And all you want to do now is just keep working around until it actually just naturally closes. So just keep doing decreases around and it will soon just close. Like so. And then when you get to the very last one, just do a slip stitch and a chain 1, and then just cut your yarn, and then that's now ready to go. So this is the head of the bunny. The top centre of the bunny is where I'll be putting the ears either side. So what I like to do now is I like to hide that tail, so I'm just going to stick my tapestry needle through and put the yarn through, tapestry needle, and just pull that through, and then that hides it well, and then just tuck it a little bit and then cut as close as you can, and then that is all hidden. So the next thing we need to do is the ears, so I'll show you how to do the ears. And for the ears all you want to do now is get your yarn again, and you want to chain 6 using the same hook as before, which is a 3.5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Yarn over, and we're going to do half double crochets into the third chain down. So 1, 2 and 3. And you're going to do 3 half double crochets in that same chain space. So that's 1 into the same chain space, 2 half doubles, and then 3 half doubles. Yarn over, go into the next, and you're going to do another half. I think I'm going to have chained a bit too tight. And then another half into the next chain space. And then on this very last one, we're just going to do a, I need to make that again, I think. On that very last chain space, you're going to do a single crochet. Like so. And then you're just going to do a slip stitch into that same space you just done your single. So do a slip stitch, and then into this side here we're just going to do a 1 single crochet, and then we're going to do a half into the next, and then a half into the next chain space, and then we're going to do another half in that same chain space again, so that's 2, and then you're going to do another half on the top, and then another half onto the next chain space, and then another half, and then you're just going to do a single and another single, and then when you get to the very end here, you just want to do a slip stitch and then chain 1, and then you can cut your yarn, leave quite a bit sewing, and tie that off, and that bit, the minute we can sort that out, we can just sew that on in a bit. So the next thing you want to do is make the inside for the ear. So I'm just going to leave that there a minute, because you don't need an awful lot of the fabric. And you can either draw on the back of the ear so it fits perfect inside your ear, but for me I'm just going to go ahead and just cut what size I think I might need. So I'll just put around the shape. And I always tend to cut more than what I actually need, so then when I need to trim it down, it should fit okay. So that's still quite big. So I'm just going to keep trimming it until I get the right size. Oops. Oh, a little bit more. And then just place it inside when you think you've got enough. And mine still needs a little bit more trimming, but we're nearly there. So I'm just going to take a little bit more off this bottom. And I think that's about going to do that quite well now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use some of my textile glue, fabric glue, whatever you want to call it. So just, you don't want incredibly loads, you just want like 3 little dots of it. And beware that it will seep through the other side, on the outside. So just try and place your fabric the best you can. You would probably do a much better job than I do, but just try and put that in as best as you can. And if it still needs trimming down, you can, just trim it down a little bit more until it's actually at the size that you're wanting it to be. So once your fabric is lined how you want it to be, you then want to do the second ear and do that again. So then while you're doing your second ear, the fabric inside is drying, so it doesn't take too long for it to dry. So I will leave you to get on with that, and then I will be back to show you what you need to do next. Okay, so while the ears are just drying out, I'm going to make a start on the face, so doing the eyes and the nose, and I'll show you how to do that. To begin, you want to get your black yarn, attach it to your tapestry needle, and this is the top of the head where your ears are going to go. So you want to just work out roughly where you want your eyes to be. So I'm going to kind of go with something like here. So pull your yarn all the way through. Well, not all the way through, leaving a tail at the back. Hold your yarn down and rest your tapestry needle on the top, and you're going to do a French knot. So put your yarn over the tapestry needle. No, I did that wrong. Like so. You only want to wrap it round once and pull your tapestry needle through your knot, and then not going through the same, you don't want to go through the same hole, but you want to go just next to it, but you want to make sure you come out on the other side through the same place you went in, if you can. Like so. So there's one eye. And then you want to go back in through the same space again. And this time, you want your eye to be about 1 or 2 spaces apart, not too far apart. And pull your yarn through. And then hold your tapestry needle, wrap it round once, and then do your second French knot. And then you don't want to go again into the same hole, otherwise the French knot will just come all the way undone. So just make sure you come back through where you went in. And then you have now got 2 eyes. There we go. And then you're just going to cut as close as you can and just push that back in. There we go. So there's the eyes. And now we need to use the pink yarn to do the nose. And my bunny has only got a small little nose. So I'm just going to go right from the back here, and I'm probably going to go somewhere around about here, I think. And then I'm just going to go through that side and come back out to where I went in. And then I'm going to go back through again up this side here. And then going through the side. Oops, that's fell out. So there's some of the nose. You might be better at this, but I'm not brilliant at needlework. But it's all practice, I suppose. all got to learn somewhere. So there's her little nose, and I'm just going to go through again. This time I'm going to come through a little bit less. I hope you can see what I'm doing. And that's her nose done. And I'm just going to go back inside, and I'm just going to come out through somewhere else and then cut. And you just want to hide those ends. So while we've been doing the face, we can now start touching on her ears. So to do her ears, is you're going to take the tail end from what we cut, and we're just going to go where we've done the magic circle, just at the side of there. You want to just go all the way through to the very bottom. Well, you can attach your ears however is easy for you, but this is the way I attach my ears. And this is a little bit tricky. So you want to go back up. And touch it back through. And now you just want to keep going through each stitch from the head to the ear the best that you can, and like I say, it is very small, so it is a little bit awkward. So just keep working around attaching the ear on, and then I will meet you back. So keep working around touching your ears on, and then I will show you what you need to do next. Okay, so that's the ears attached on now. So all we want to do now is cut these tail ends. And now we want to do the bow for the ear. So I'm just going to use a little bit of ribbon and just make a bow. You don't have to use ribbon, you can use a piece of yarn, or you don't even have to put a bow on if you don't want a bow. But I just thought it was quite cute to have a little bow. And you could probably do a better job than me too. So I'm just going to try and straighten this out the best I can. I always do my bows big enough for me to make them more and more small as I need them to. Excuse me. Well, this cold weather's starting to give me a bit of a cold, I think. So I think that's okay. And then just cut your ribbon, and I think that'll be okay. Bearing in mind this first bunny I done, she is more stuffed than the second one, so I think maybe that time I didn't use enough stuffing, so you might want to just use a little bit more stuffing if you wanted to. I actually used actual stuffing for her, not the yarn, so that's probably why they look slightly different. So for the next thing to do, we want to attach Bunny onto the hair clip. So the way I do that is, to begin, you're just going to get a nice long amount of yarn, and you want to use some Textile Glue. I would say that was quite a good amount. And then you want to wrap the yarn around the clip. So I do like an X to begin with, and then I take the other bit of the yarn from the back and then go around again. And then just keep twisting your yarn around. You want quite a good amount on there. Maybe on this first one I might have gone a bit too far out, so maybe you might want to just not do it as far out as I did on the first one. So as long as you've got enough there to attach your bunny, so just cut, and then you just want to weave that ends through the yarn. I actually like going in between the fibres of the yarn as well, because it just, I think it holds it in a bit better as well. So you're just going to close that off. I mean, you could leave the tail end, which I think is what I did last time. I actually left a tail end last time to attach it on, but this time I've cut. But it's okay, because I'll just get another piece of yarn in a moment. And this tail end, I want that just hiding as well. So I'm just going to see if I can, no, that won't go through, but that's fine. Not to worry too much. So now we want to get the piece of yarn that I shouldn't have cut. And I'm just going to attach the yarn in the back of the bunny. And I want that attached on really well, like so. So that is on nice and tight now. I'm just going to cut this tail out the way. Trim that off. And then we're going to attach Bunny to the hair slide, or hair clip. So we're just going to go through like so. and then you're just going to go through the back of the bunny's head and through the yarn that's attached to the clip. And you're just going to keep pulling your yarn through. You want to keep hold of it in place, and don't worry if the bit gets a bit messy, you can sort that at the end. So once it's attached on, it gets easier to finish attaching it on. So you go through again. I also like to try and hide this sharp bit here on the edging. So the best way for me to do that, I go through this yarn here, and then through here, and then I just keep working like that to and fro, to and through, basically all the way across, just to hide that clip and make it a bit softer on that edge. It doesn't get caught then in the child's hair or anything. And just keep going around and just basically sewing it all in the best you can until it's all attached on good and secure to the best that you feel it is. So I'm just going to finish off here. My scraps yarn getting caught in there. And I thought this was a really cute little Easter hair accessory, and I just thought what a great idea that would be. So just keep working that around and making sure it's attached on all the way around. It's probably gonna, well, for me it takes quite some time to sew and then sort the ribbon of the bow out. So that's basically all there is to it. Once your yarns are attached on and you know your ends are all tied in nicely and your bow's straight and everything, so that's all there is to it. So I'm going to finish there, and that's it for today. So thank you all so much. See, and it opens and closes as well. So thank you all so much for joining me today on Crochet Infusion, and give me a like or a thumbs up or a comment on there, and especially if you've made these little bunny clips, I'd love to see them on what you've done. And thank you all so much. So I am on Instagram and Facebook and everything as well. I do try to get my videos out every week if possible. So that is all for today, and till next time, well, next week, thank you all, and I will see you next week. Have a nice weekend. Bye.